Praise the Lord. This is a very short video on a topic I call the demonic bloodline. The demonic bloodline. Many a times we wonder why certain things keep on repeating itself over and over again, especially from generations to generations, and it is like the same thing that was done in the past. It was exactly the same that was performed even now. Now this shows us that there is a connection between the present and the past. Spiritually, there's a connection between now and the past, and most times it is the demons that brings about this occurrence. They try to make sure that the same evil that have begun in those days, right from the time Adam and Eve fell in the Garden of Eden. So these demonic agents, they try to ensure that the same evil that took place right from the ancient time, they try to make sure that that evil trend continues even till this present moment. And how do they make this happen? That is why I say the topic of this message is the demonic bloodline. So if you look at your own family, your family background, you can observe that there are certain things that has been happening in your family. I mean negative things, and it kept on happening. For instance, let's say you have a grandfather and you were told that this grandfather died of drug addiction, and then you discover that even now in your own life there is that same drug addiction in your life. Now this is a connection in the spirit realm. So the devil is trying to make you also end your life the same way your grandfather did, or great grandfather or father. So this is what the Lord is trying to show us at this time as Christians, that we should be sensitive to the demonic bloodline. Christians are not supposed to be so vulnerable for these occurrences to happen in our lives. We should not be a channel of this evil trend. This evil should not continue in our lives as Christians. So we are supposed to be separated from that demonic bloodline, because we now belong to another bloodline, which is the bloodline of Christ. That is where we belong. By faith, we belong to the bloodline, the divine bloodline of Christ, because the Bible says that if any man be in Christ, he is a new creature. All things have passed away. Behold, all things have become new. So now that you are in Christ, whatever is the trouble or the problem that has been from your generation should not manifest in your whole time. You should pray and break them. In some families, it is abortion that is paramount. In some families, it is sexual perversions, homosexuality, homosexualism, lesbianism, and all forms of sexual sins. So you should not be a victim of such evil, because you have been redeemed by the blood of the Lamb. So it is the blood of the Lamb that redeems us from the demonic bloodline. And that is why the Lord is saying that don't allow the same evil of the past to repeat itself in your life as a Christian, because you have been redeemed by the blood of the Lamb. And if you look at your life, you look at your family, you look at your present life, and you discover this evil manifesting, you're supposed to go into spiritual warfare and destroy every evil that is trying to manifest itself. You are supposed to disconnect yourself from the demonic bloodline and cry unto the Lord for your complete redemption and deliverance from these evil forces of darkness. So this is a watchman alarm. I am just sounding this alarm to everyone that certain things happening in our lives are not supposed to be. We are supposed to put an end to them, because we belong to another bloodline, which is the bloodline of Christ. That evil should not continue in your life. In some people's lives, the problem is they don't have a right marriage. They don't get married to the right person. Their marriage always ends up in divorce. So the case of divorce is the evil in some family background, and that divorce keep on repeating itself. And even in your own life, it's like your marriage is not working. In some cases, it could be it could be inability to conceive, to have children. So you need to identify that evil that is in your family line and break it and disconnect yourself from it. And as you do that, the Lord God of heaven will give you the victory in Jesus' name. Amen.